Alright, hello, howdy. My two graphs are absolute value and square root, so I'm going to be going over absolute value first. So let's start with the domain and the range. The domain, that's pretty simple, pretty self-explanatory. As we can see, it goes infinitely from negative infinity, or from left from right. It goes infinite both directions. And then for the range, which is bottom to top, we see that it starts at 0 and then it goes infinitely. The x and y intercepts are actually pretty easy for this one because they both touch here at the origin point or at 0, which is why they're both 0. And then for the extrema, the absolute minimum is 0 again, because like for the y-intercept and for the range, it's hit 0 and then it goes on infinitely. There aren't any other extrema for this one because that is the only low or high point that we can identify at the moment. The increasing intervals, we see from here that it starts increasing at 0 and then it goes on infinitely. And then for the decreasing, we see that it goes from negative infinity and then it stops decreasing at 0. So for the end behavior, it's pretty similar, honestly, to increasing and decreasing in the fact that negative infinity, which is the left end of the graph, we see that it is going upwards towards positive infinity, and then on the right side of the graph we see that it is again going upwards to positive infinity. There are no discontinuities here. I mean, there would be some confusion when it hits here and then it starts going in the other direction, but that isn't a continuity because the line doesn't stop. It just hits this point and then it keeps going. And then if you were to plug it in, you would find that this equation is even. Alright, and then let's do the square root. The domain, pretty simple on this one. If it's left to right, we go left. There's nothing on the left side of the graph. And then we go here. Domain starts at 0 and then it goes on infinitely. The range, same thing. It starts at 0 and then it looks like it would go on infinitely. I don't want to assume that it stops at one point, so I'm just going to put infinity. X and y intercept, same thing as the last graph. They both make contact at the origin point, so that's pretty easy for us. Again, with the extrema, there's only one, and that is the one we can easily identify with it being the lowest point on the graph, which is the origin point or 0. The increasing intervals, it starts at 0 and then it goes on infinitely as we see here. And then there are no decreasing intervals because there's nothing on the left side of the graph, and then everything on the right side is going up. For the end behavior, if we look at negative infinity on the left side of the graph, there is nothing here, so there is none. And then if we look at infinity on the right side of the graph, we see that it is going upwards or infinity. And then there are no discontinuities. Since if it were to go here and then like jump or something, that would be a discontinuity. But as there are no breaks in the line, as we can see here, there are no discontinuities, so it is continuous. And then if we were to plug in into the equation and see if it was even or odd, we would find that it is neither. It is actually neither. And yeah, that's about it. The only thing I kind of have to say about both of these is that as you're going down, if you have, we have 5 sets of notes, and if you have the notes with you, as you go down through these, you can go through the notes and it goes in the order of the notes. So if you're having trouble with that, just follow the order of your notes and you should be able to figure it out. And yeah.